everyone. I will start first with a small intro and a couple of words on Women in Tech Canada while we're letting people join. So I'm Julie Watson, and I'm obviously the country director for Women in Tech Canada, but also a CEO of a tech company based in Montreal called Ultimate Tech. And we do software for helping print service providers automate their workflow. And I'm happy to be joined today with Catherine, Emily, and Nadia. We're going to talk about a really important topic. And when I was a young student, or even before I got to become an entrepreneur, I always thought, one of the cool things would have been had I known a lot of practical information about how to start a business and all of this, it would have been very helpful. So we felt that this was an important topic, and we're definitely glad that you're joining today to learn a little bit more about the how to get started if you have ambitions. So thank you for joining. Also, I just want to mention that Women in Tech Global has a global platform called Women in Tech Hub. If you don't already have a profile, please join the community and then follow us on the Canadian chapter. But you also can be in touch with all the chapters around the world. We have about 60 different chapters. As well as coming this late April 3rd to 25th, there's a global summit in Osaka, Japan. But there's also going to be some North American awards coming in September, October. So if you'd like to apply for those, please visit our website and start thinking about applying for these awards. So before we get started, just a little bit of some how to this session will work. So it'll be a presentation, and at the end, we'll have a question period. If you want to ask questions, please do so. Either use the chat or the question and answer window. We'll be monitoring both. And this is pretty much my short intro. So Emily, Catherine, Nadia, I hand it to you. It's all yours.
Thank you very much. So welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us on this event. It's a great pleasure for us to collaborate with Women in Tech, because in our work in finance, we face the same challenges as you in terms of underrepresentation of women, and our aim is to raise it. First, I'd like to thank Julie Watson for the opportunity. Like Julie and many other women who are members of Women in Tech, they have their own business, and we're here today to talk about the steps to start your own business, to give you ideas, guidance, and help. We're going to cover a few points, and then we'll have a question period, like we said, at the end. If you have any further questions or would like additional information, please don't hesitate to contact us. It will be our pleasure to help you.
Thank you.
So let's take a moment to introduce ourselves. My name is Catherine Asselin. Like Emily, I've been a wealth manager advisor and a financial planner for 15 years. Our function is to support professionals, specialists, managers, and entrepreneurs in their projects. We're their financial partners to whom they can refer for any concerns they may have. For example, we answer to questions like, should I lease or buy my car? What's the impact of my divorce? I've just received a large inheritance. What should I do with it? Or I want to increase my market shares. Would it be good for me to buy out my competitor? So Emily, you can continue.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you for the introduction. So hi, everyone. It's great to be here today, and thank you for joining us. So Catherine and I are, like she said, we are a wealth advisor, and we are both specialized in taxation, giving us the expertise in wealth management. We practice independently while being supported by one of the largest brokerage firm in Canada. Is this sounds good? Okay.
Yeah.
So this partnership, okay, thank you. This partnership helps us to access the resource and network we need to succeed while still allowing us to tailor our approach for each client. Our mission is clear: to help our client build and preserve their wealth, develop their assets, and pass them on to future generations. This approach goes far beyond simple financial strategies. As entrepreneur, we understand the challenge you may face as young woman entrepreneur in the technology sector, but also the incredible opportunities available to you. We hope this webinar will inspire you to pursue your projects with the same passion and determination. Nadia, I invite you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Emily. Hi, everyone. My name is Nadia Ragbeer. I'm an account manager at National Bank. I actually did most of my career as in commercial banking. So I love entrepreneurs. I actually managed before the bank a jewelry store. So I know all about how it is to start your business, nicks and knacks about it, what's fun about it, what's less fun about it, all of that. Fun fact about me, I actually did my bachelor degree in women's studies. So I'm really honored to be with you today, all about empowering women, striving for women. So I'm very happy to be in Women in Tech. Thank you.
So thanks, ladies. So we work for National Bank, which is one of the largest bank in Canada. And for your information, we offer the best return rate for shareholders. National Bank is also the leading financial institution in Quebec, and we just acquired Canadian Western Bank. Our values within the financial group are complicity, agility, and empowerment. Emily and I work for the National Bank Financial Department, which is affiliated with the National Bank since 1902. It's one of the largest securities brokerage firm with 150 billion under management. What we mean by securities brokerage firm is that we can offer you any investment product that is available on the market, whether it's a product from National Bank or from another bank or another investment firms. Our goal is to find what's more optimal for you with no obligation to favor certain products. National Bank Financials holds 29% of share markets, which is the most important compared to our competitors. Finally, in terms of customer satisfaction, GD Power gave us the first place in Canada. GD Power evaluated some points which are investor confidence, employee qualities, products and services offered, value for money, ability to manage assets, problem resolution, and digital channels. So we're quite happy to have obtained this position, but our president's slogan is we don't take anything for granted and we keep getting better. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to, I lost my little arrow. Sorry, I'll try to get it back. Okay. Sorry. Perfect. So before we start about the business opportunities, we wanted to make it see what's going on in your industry. So the latest Canadian report on the subject was published in 2023. At this time, 48,000 companies were operating in the information and communication sector. 92% of them were in the software and computer services. 85% were small companies employing fewer than 10 people. So there were only 160 large companies who had over 500 employees. So if you're thinking of starting out with a small team, that's exactly what the majority of the other players in your industry are doing. Perfect. To draw a parallel with the science and engineering sector, the majority of companies are also small and they are mostly located in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. In the pharmaceutical industry, which is part of the life sciences sector, if you would like to, for example, create a generic drug and prove that it's effective as the original, it would take, for example, 2 to 3 years and require 3 to 10 million in research and development. So in the pharmaceutical industry, only 10 products represent 65% of total sales in Canada. For example, Ozempic is one of them, and around half of the sales are generated by the top 10 companies such as Johnson & Johnson and Merck. So because it's very controlled, a very controlled sector, and because of their discovery could be recognized worldwide, it seems maybe harder to break into. In the medical device industry, there's no big companies that control the sector. There is a large numbers of small companies specializing in the development and technologies for target markets, and 30% of the manufacturing companies comes from research organization or are in the commercialization phase. This is, of course, a sector in which the Canadian government is highly investing. Our country stands out for the creation of intellectual property and ranks first among the G7 countries for clinical trials. So back to your sector, the technology. In the past years, there has been a strong economic performance. All services and some manufacturing industries like electronic components have outperformed the rest of the economy, the Canadian economy. So it's a very promising sector for you. And it is one of the few sectors that was not disrupted by the pandemic. However, there is a slowdown due to rising interest rates, a wave of hiring that exceeded need during the pandemic, and there's also a decline in demand for products and technological solutions. Many companies are concerned about economic performance, especially since Donald Trump's election, which delays their investment decision to improve their operations. Despite this slowdown, a significant drop in sales is not expected. The average annual growth is still estimated at 6.9% until 2027. However, some companies may face difficulties due to changing demand. But your sector, ladies, this type of challenge is beneficial because your field is one of the ways to evolve the offers of the companies. If companies eventually adopt new models, it will demonstrate that private and public investments have been injected in digital infrastructures, resulting in positive gain for your sector. As we know, supply chain issues and geopolitical tensions remain current, so keep in mind that it could possibly impact your future clients' decisions. However, in 2025, who can survive without technology? It is in most cases essential and a priority for companies. We can see it by all the new apps popping every day. So if you think you can improve your industry and you would like to start a business, you can start looking for opportunities to buy a technology company, but you have to know your market, that it is really different from the general market. As a matter of fact, currently 76% of owners in the general market plan to pass their business to a successor within the next 10 years, whether it's for retirement, to escape stress, or to retire, or because they want to change their lives. However, in your industry, the demographic picture is very different because many young people in their 30s and 40s. They develop projects and they might be interested in selling. But due to high interest rates in the last 10 to 18 months, growth companies like those in technology have slowed down because they needed financing to grow their ideas. There have been fewer opportunities for merger and acquisition. A bit like the real estate business, sellers overestimate the value of their business they want to sell, but when the buyer analyzed everything, they were a bit off, discussion dragged on, and deals were not sealed. In your area, companies' sales transactions are often done through word of mouth or through investment funds that have been involved since the process started. Investment funds can go to market and sell their stake in projects they have brought to a certain threshold when they are ready to divest. In summary, as you know, even though your sector recently experienced a slower growth in Canada, its performance have been superior to the overall Canadian economy in terms of production, employment, and innovation. So you have a really promising sector. I will conclude my part by telling you what's the most important thing to focus on during a business acquisition transaction, both on your side, the buyer, and from our side, the creditor. So if you start or buy a business, we will want to go over the following elements with you. First of all, what's your business plan? That's a good question, and Nadia will tell you more about it. Once it's settled, we will need to know how your model positions itself in the market. Does it stand out? Does it address an actual demand? It is a franchise or it is unique? Here are some questions you would like to answer. Who is the board and what are their experiences? Do you want to put mechanism in place to retain your key employees? Do you need copyrights or specific agreements on certain processes? Are all these well registered and up to date? In terms of due diligence regarding the project, have you investigated and evaluated the company from all angles? And finally, have the numbers been analyzed and ensure everything is compliant and in order. Overall, it's through those first steps that you will find out if the company is well organized. You will be relieved to know all the possible impacts before you get fully involved in the projects. I know this process may seem overwhelming, but we have a whole financial team and analysts who will be pleased to assist you, so don't hesitate to reach out. Nadia, it's your turn.
Thank you, Catherine. So I'm going to talk about, and we'll just go on the next slide, the business life cycle. So you're going to start off your business, and we'll talk about it later on with probably an idea, and then you're going to produce that idea. Where it starts off with us, National Bank, and our partners, where we'll be able to help you, will be at your startup. So startup means that you're ready to register your business, you're ready to go ahead and start having activities in your business. All through the life cycle of your business, you'll have to do with your bankers, with your financial wealth management, like Emily and Catherine. They'll be there for you for your business as well as your personal side, which will be super important. Your business after the startup, which takes about 2 to 3 years, will start growing. So you'll see growth into different products, different clients that you'll have, and you will go into full maturity. This means that your company is stable. You're in full swing. Everything's going well. You are growing every year, but you're more in a stable stage. That's where you're going to start thinking of maybe retiring, going into another business, selling your business, transferring, and so forth. Like I mentioned, you'll be contacting your bankers and also your wealth management advisors as well. Thank you. What's super important to have? From your startup, from the beginning, your business model. It's something that we're all going to look at, especially when you're going to knock at the doors of banks or investors. I do recommend, though, to always have up to date a business model. Super important for you, for your suppliers to know where you're going. Where do you want to go? So we'll look at it in detail together. First of all, we're going to talk about our value proposition. What's a value proposition? Well, it's what is your product or service giving? What's the value for your clients to do business with you? Why should I actually have a service or buy your products? Questions you're going to ask yourself is, what are the features of that product that you're selling or the service? What's it actually giving to your customer? What's in it for them to go with you? What are the advantages of doing business with you? The other thing that we're going to look at is your customer segments. What do we mean by that? Is which segments are you actually going to target for your business? Is it a group of individuals? Is it a group, an age group, for example, or a certain lifestyle? So you're going to look at the target audience that you're looking at. What are their needs? What are they looking for? What are the problems that they have that your product could resolve? What is the profile of those clients? You're also going to look at the channels. What type of channels are you going to use to communicate with that target clients? And also the distribution. How are you going to reach your clients? You're going to ask yourself, is it going to be online? Am I going to have a physical distribution spot? Am I going to have a store? Am I going to go knocking on doors? How am I going to reach them? And what channels are you also going to use to distribute either your product or your services? Your customer relationships, super important as well. How are you going to keep those relationships, and how are you going to build those relationships with your clients? Are you looking more for clients that are going to come one time, buy your products, and go away? Or are you trying to build a relationship, a long-term relationship? How are you going to create that relationship? Are you going to target them by email? Are you going to do, for example, subscriptions? How are you going to keep that relationship with them? Your key resources. What are the key resources and the assets that keeps running your business smoothly? What are the questions you're going to ask on that? Well, what are your essential resources? Is it a certain material? Is it a certain application? Is it exactly actually a certain person that has all the digital and information that you need? So how are you going to keep that key resources available to you? Your key activities. Once again, we know, especially in the domain of technology, it's always renewing, right? It's always going up to head. Today, there's one technology, tomorrow there's a new one already invented. So what activities are you going to do to keep your value proposition always on hand? What are those key activities? Are you going to do webinars like we're doing today? Are you going to go speak to hospitals? Where are your key activities to keep your business rolling? Then we're going to look at our key partners. Super important to have key partners. And we're talking talking about key partners. We're talking about our suppliers, our employees, our distributors as well. Who are those key partners that if they go away, your business might drop or fail? So how important are each supplier or partners for you? What is the importance? Are you have that one single partner that's 100% or 65% of your business? And if that person goes away, so that's where you're going to have to evaluate those key partners. What are the things that you're going to do to keep those resources? Is it going to be more in-house, meaning into your company, or are you actually having key partners outside of your company? Your revenue streams. So that's very important to know. How are your revenues going to come? Is it just by subscription and that's it? I usually recommend to have multiple revenue streams, right, for your business. So where does your revenue come from? You're going to ask. How are your clients paying you? Is it all by credit card? Is it on a website? Is it in person cash? How do you prefer to get paid? Do you still want to accept checks? Do you don't want to accept checks? And what are your more profitable products? Right? So all along that you're creating your business model, and even throughout the growth of your business cycle, you'll have products that will be very, very popular in one maybe in the first few years, and then will be less popular. So what are you replacing them by, right? So that's going to change your revenue streams as well. We're also going to look at the cost structure. And that's something often we kind of forget. So your cost structure is how much does it cost to run your business? What are you, and even if you're starting up, you have to start doing an Excel sheet to see how much is it going to cost. Am I going to have salaries? How much does it cost to produce what I'm trying to sell, the service or the product? The training, am I going to have to train new people? Am I going to have to also go door to door to sell my product? Or my platforms, for example, how much is it going to cost to create a website or go to different platforms to get that done? Your operation costs, your taxes as well. So all of that, or how much each activity is going to cost me. Super important to be structured in that, because oftentimes in the first few years in their startup, we don't necessarily think of all of that, or we run with it. We say, oh, well, I'll put this small budget and I'll see how much it costs. It's important to have a good cost structure. Thank you. In our first year, we're going to talk about the business life cycle. I always laugh at the name because our first thing is the Valley of Death. It looks really scary, but it's not that scary. So in the Valley of Death, you're going to end up having your idea. So you're starting to have an idea about either a product or a service that you want to create. It's not totally concrete. You're still in the phase of maybe drawing up the sketches or having an idea, or in the canvas stage that I call it, your initial stage. There, for the financing aspect, you're going to use either your personal money. Super important to be knocking on the doors of Emily and Catherine to make those budgets and to see exactly how much money can you put in. Don't be putting in all your money and then you end up having no personal money, can't pay my rent because I'm starting a business. So important to go see those advisors for help. You're also going to have, we call it love money. What do we mean by that? Is either family members, friends that believe in your idea and your service and are just giving you donations, right, to help you start up that business. And we also have microfinancing that you could do either GoFundMe's or little activities in a smaller environment. Then we're in the development, I cannot say that word, sorry, phase. So what are we talking about that? Well, we have our product, we have our idea, we're ready to start it up. We're starting to do our service, create our websites, we're creating our product, we're in that phase. So the research phase, our target markets, what are they looking at? We're comparing our products to other products similar. We're in that phase. Here we're going to go look at, for the financing aspect, to business angels. I'm sure all of you are very aware with Dragon Den, right? It's one of the most popular shows that we see. So that's our business angels, right? It's investors that are there. Either they're going to take a portion of share of your company, or they're going to take a portion of profit, or both, in order to invest into what you're giving. We also have incubators, which I will talk later on of what they do. You could have grants, subsidies as well, either with government or other schoolings and other technological proceeds as well, and venture capitals. That's where we're at. Once we're at the growth phase, what does that mean, growth phase? Well, growth phase means that we're ready to register our business, or we're ready to incorporate our business. We're ready to start up. have our commercial banking account. We're ready to go into the market, have clients, where product is starting to get produced. We're ready to sell, right? So that's where we're going to come knocking at Nadia's door. Hi, Nadia, I need your help, right? Our bankers. And that's where we're going to help you out all through. So we have multiple partners, from incorporation to bank accounts to financing, the whole thing. Then you'll be in your maturity level. So that means you have your suppliers, or you're done with that. You have your clients, your segments. You're in full maturity, right? You're thinking of maybe expanding your product line. You're thinking maybe of expanding, buying a building or buying new technology, right? You're in the full maturity level. Here, once again, you'll come see your bankers, right? And you'll come see Emily and Catherine and Nadia, and to see how can we help you out for bigger financing, for maybe bigger requests. Maybe you'll need wire transfers. You want to do something internationally, full abroad. Afterwards, we're going into the renewal or decline. What do we mean by that? Is that you're either thinking of completely changing your products. You were doing technology in a medical field and you're like, you know what, I done that. I want to go do technology for agriculture instead. So we're completely changing our route. We might be closing that company, starting a new company. We're thinking of maybe retiring as well, right? Selling our company, retiring, or just venturing in something else. That's going to be super important. Yes, to go see, once again, Catherine and Emily, to go see what we can do. What are we going to do with those funds? And elsewhere. Also, if you're thinking of selling or transferring companies or buying a new company, as well, come see your bankers. We could help you out as well for that. So we call that the exit strategy for that. Thank you. As I mentioned before, I mentioned big words before. I went through really rapidly, right? Crowdfunding, incubators, bootstrapping. It's not putting on boots for winter, just putting it out there. So what is it exactly? So we'll start with the first one, crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is actually a way of raising money to finance projects and businesses. It's more on a startup level that we're going to do that. So it enables fundraisers to collect money from a large number of people via online platform. One of our partners that we work with a lot is Ulule. You could go visit their website, and they actually have full classes on how to do that. They train you on that, and they also have their page, so you could do your crowdfunding with them as well, which is pretty neat. Afterwards, we're talking about incubators, one of my favorite ones. Incubators are business incubators will help you. They're a program for early startups, early stages. They actually have mentorship. They have investors. They support you throughout the whole process of starting up your business. You even have special spaces that you could have for them, collaborative spaces. They will really help you throughout. A lot of times they are done through schools, and we'll give you a few examples later on of those incubators that you could reach out to. And they also have, like, for example, we have one of our incubators, McGill, that we give prizes, and we have special offers as well for them. And last but not least, bootstrapping, the one that I find the term kind of funny. So bootstrapping refers to when you're a company, you just start up your company and you don't want to have to take financing elsewhere. You want to kind of do your own financing. So you're not asking families, you're not asking friends, you're not going microfinancing or anything else. You're literally putting your own money yourself. So you're going to go get that personal loan, take off your line of credit, things like that. So that's what it means. Bootstrapping is super important, though, if you are going that route, to be surrounded by the right people. Once again, like I said, it could be a trap if you're putting all your investments, your personal money into your company and it fails. The effect is not just a failed company, but it's also that it could reduce that you don't have a house, you have nothing else. So super important to be well surrounded for the bootstrapping. Factors to look at, okay, when we're starting a company. Well, the cost of capital, what do we mean by that? Well, what is the cost of asking for financing or asking for business angels, for example, right? Is it going to be interest? Are we going to have an interest rate as that as well? Is there a fee for the financing that I'm requesting? Am I actually giving percentages of shares of my company? So there is a cost of capital when you're requesting financing, however you're getting it, except it's, well, even personal financing as well. There's a cost of capital on that to be careful to look at. Cost of operations. A lot of time companies don't necessarily look. They just want to start their business and don't look at the cost of operations. We're looking at expenses, What do we mean by that? Well, marketing. That's an expense of your cost of operations to run your business. Your salaries, your productions, how much is it costing you to produce that? Your suppliers, the rent. There's all kinds of costs that are correlated directly for the operations of your business. So it's important sometimes you're going to have, oh, I'm making 1 million of revenue, but if it's costing you 2 millions to run your business, you're actually in debt. You're not making profit. You'll have fixed costs. For example, rent usually is a fixed cost. It might increase in a year, but it's usually for that within a year. Salaries are usually stable as well. You'll have variable costs. We know right now with the economy, what's going on the other side of the border, it's affecting our fixed costs that maybe a company had as a fixed cost now became a variable cost. It used to cost us always the same price. So, now every week there's a different cost, right? 25%, 50%, we don't know what's going on. So always to take in consideration those two costs, your fixed costs and your variable costs when you're looking at your cash traps to avoid, the 3 W's that we call them. So what are the 3 W's? Well, we're talking here more with business investors, right? Our business angel investors that we're looking, or partners that we're looking for into our business. Who is that partner? Okay. We want to know, I would suggest to always get to know who that partner that you're targeting or that business angel investor that you're targeting, right? What are your concerns for them? What are you getting from them? The other one that you're looking at, what do you need from them, right? Are you looking more for the knowledge aspect or are you looking more for the financing? Is it a mix of both? What is it that you need from them? The other way around as well, what will they need from you? Right. Emily has a lot of knowledge. I'm going to go get her knowledge, invest with her, ask her if she wants to invest in me, but she's asking me 50% of my company. That might be too high for what I'm getting from her. So always try to see what do you need and what do they need in return. When to reach out. Okay. And Emily's going to talk to you later on about networking. Super important. Maybe if you're like, I really want to talk to Catherine. I've been willing to talk to her. She has so much knowledge. I want to see if she wants to invest in my company. Well, Catherine's having dinner with her family. Might not be the right time to go see her, right? So when is the good time to reach out? Super important. You have one time to make a good impression. That's what you should see, right? Once again, like we said, what to avoid. Be careful with not maintaining proper personal finances, right? If your personal finances is not doing well, most likely in your business, it will also have an impact, right? When is it too late to knock on our doors? Don't wait until your suppliers are threatening to not give you anything anymore and your business isn't closed to come knocking our doors, right? Prevent that. Once you're ready, your business start off, come knock and talk to us. Super important. And like I said, being unprepared to talk to your investors or creditors, right? If I'm meeting Emily at networking, but I'm not prepared to what I'm saying and I'm fumbling, well, Emily might not take me seriously and be like, oof, Nadia, yeah, I met her, but she was all over the place. She didn't know really what her product was about. She might not want to invest with me. So super important, little tricks and tips for you. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys is a little bit about our partners, right? So we have, National Bank is one of the biggest partners. Obviously, I will tell you, come see us first. We do have a lot of partners, a lot of tools as well. The business model is also on our website. You could download it and create it yourself as well. We do have our partner BDC, which we work a lot with. They actually have financing, but they also have a consulting service part as well. So they'll help you in business strategy, in HR management, digital technology, leadership and management. So they have a whole bunch of different consulting services to offer you. Also have Ulule that I was talking about as well before. So they do the crowdfunding, platform to help you. They also can form you on that, so train you on that. And they also have training on entrepreneurship, right, as well. Another of our great partners that we have is Evol. Evol is very based though in Quebec. I rather tell you, it's 17 regions that they have in Quebec, but they actually have financing, but they have guidance. So they'll help you, and they love empowering women. So that's why I love them as well. And they're going to help you to customize your business plan. They're going to help you to access complementary services, diagnose exactly how you want to go with your company or the people that you're trying to reach out to. So you could always check them out. Government wise, for credits and federal credits and inventions, well, you do have with the government of Canada that has credit investment for technology, clean technology. You also have research and development as well with both governments. So if you're in the phase of researching and development, they do have credits on that as well. Thank you. Last but not least, as I mentioned, I love incubators. I find that they're a very, very neat way, especially when you're starting off a business. And in our technology aspect, we have Santec, we have Women Founders Project. McGill also has a technology aspect as well. They also have Dobson Cunt. So we have multiple different incubators that could help you throughout your startup and also help you create your business, mentorships, develop. And Emily's going to talk to you a lot about that, about the networking aspect. You also have Futur Entrepreneur and others. So now I will pass the ball, as we say, to Emily. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. So ladies, at a certain point, your business might want to expand, maybe earlier than you plan, and you look for funding to scale your project. You can turn into invest funds, loans, or support. Nadia talked about seed funding at the beginning. Here, we're in the growth phase. An investment fund, also called venture capital fund, is a group that puts money into companies that can grow quickly, especially in new areas like technology. They invest in the company and hope to earn a lot of money when it grows. In simple terms, they follow a certain way of owning shares. When a firm invests in a company, it buys a part of it for money it gives. In return, the firm hopes the company will make a profit and provide a good return on its investment. Getting support from these funds can be very smart, as they offer not just maybe money, but also valuable advice and help you to connect with partners in bigger markets. Their involvement goes far beyond just giving funds. They aim to help companies grow in a sustainable and successful way. Axelia, BDC, Evolve, and Innovia are examples of companies we work with to support technological businesses. Each of these funds has a unique way of doing things. So it's important to do your research and choose a company that meets your needs and ensure a good fit. You also seek funding from other channels like traditional financing. Depending on the situation, we can collaborate with BDC or Evol, which provide loans and support too. In summary, there are many financial resources available. Understanding them and their commitment is key. Thank you. So Nadia talked about network. It's important to understand your market. The technology field is very specific and niche, with fewer business sales compared to the other sectors like construction. You need to build a strong network and be around the right people. Your network will provide you resources, support, advice, and sometimes opportunities. Women in Tech is a great example of an organization that helps women entrepreneurs in the tech industry. It helps you meet other women with the same challenges and goals. You can check out the participant and try to connect with women who might inspire you or provide opportunities. Networking events are also a great way to create connection and meet people who share your interests. It provides a casual setting for sharing ideas and building strong relationships. Make sure to attend with a clear objective and an open mind to maximize your benefits of these meetings. There are several ways to go about it. You can, for example, follow social networks and online events, check the different professional networking platforms, try to get involved in online discussion groups. Nadia mentioned incubators and accelerators earlier. They have a huge network. Use them, be curious, and don't hesitate to ask questions. In summary, to know where to go, you need to be proactive. You must build your network quickly to get the most benefits. So I encourage you to think widely. You can change. Thank you, Catherine. I encourage you to think widely about technology because there are so many opportunities in this field, and innovation affects nearly every part of our society. Each tech sector offers unique opportunities like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, blockchain, the Internet of Things, and they're just a few examples. Fields like fintechs who merge finance and technology, digital health that improve medical care and health data management, online education, environmental technology, and agri-tech are all thriving. Technology is everywhere and is transforming traditional practices. As you can see, the lines between sectors are becoming blurred. Don't limit yourself to one niche. Explore, broaden your horizon, and think about how you can bring technological solutions to various sectors. At National Bank, we are here to support you and help you navigate your path. Thank you. Now, as you start your business, new needs will pop up along the way. In the beginning, the main focus is on getting your project off the ground, securing funding, and building your network. Managing cash flow is crucial at this stage. And as Nadia mentioned, keeping a solid financial position is key. Protecting your asset is also important at this stage. When your business matures, it becomes stable. You'll likely be in a good financial position, and we'll start talking about managing cash flow. Reorganizing your company and by adding a management company or even setting up a trust, tax optimization will become a priority for you, your advisor, your accountant, and a tax specialist. Managing cash flow will mark the start of investing. Will guide you in making the right investment choice based on your needs and project. In the maturity phase, you might consider expanding internationally, and now you find yourself managing financial risk. We will introduce you to several new concepts. Don't worry, this is our expertise, and we'll explain everything clearly and support you at that time. When your business is stable, you might need a transition phase for succession or transfer. This stage must be carefully planned to ensure a smooth transition. We'll help you with this transition to make it smooth. Sorry. In summary, it is essential to come see us from the start of your journey. Unfortunately, some companies don't survive due to poor structure. Let's avoid this and come see us to protect you from these mistakes. Thank you. So I'll talk about how important it is to surround yourself with from the beginning of your project, but it's also important to work with a strong and solid network of professionals. From the start, you need to be surrounded with competent and experienced experts. This can truly make the difference between the success and the failure of your project. At every stage of your entrepreneurial journey, you need support to make good decisions and avoid mistakes. At the beginning, it's really important to talk to a legal advisor to pick the right legal structure to make a good connection. A tax expert, it's also crucial to help you optimize your tax and make strategic choice. And this decision can greatly affect your company profit. Once your company is growing, an accountant and a financial advisor like Catherine and me are essential for managing cash flow, planning investment, and ensuring long-term profits. We help you with risk management to protect your business from unexpected issues that could happen. During the maturity phase, you need to consider succession or selling the business. At this stage, a lawyer who specializes in business succession is essential, along with your financial advisor, to discuss withdrawal and succession aspects. Having this professional is essential to avoid mistakes, anticipate challenge, and build a solid and sustainable business. I call them my dream team as we help you focus on growth. Like Catherine, I have my own team of experts I've worked with for over 15 years, built on trust and efficiently. Finding resources on your own can be a headache. So I recommend come to see us and we will introduce you to our team. Thank you. In summary, every stage of your entrepreneurial journey is a chance to learn and grow with the right people around you. Here's my tip. Build a solid team from the start to guide you. You're bold entrepreneurs and the world needs your idea and talents. Dream big, surround yourself with great people, and launch with confidence. We're here to support you on your journey to achieve your goals. Thank you all for your attention, and above all, dare to innovate and succeed. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for this wonderful sessions. Really, really interesting, lots of information. So now this is a question period. We have our first question that's come in. As a temporary resident in Quebec and an inspiring entrepreneur, Can I also benefit from the funds? My startup is in the MVP stage. Great question. What would you say to that?
I'll answer if you guys don't mind. What's important actually is that your company, if you're registering it, that it's in the business registry of Quebec. So I do have some shareholders that are not living in Quebec. They're in the United States, in France, and so forth. It's really what we look at for funding and things like that is that the company itself is registered in Canada.
So, we talked about the different stages of the business, right? And we talked about being well surrounded by people. Would you recommend that to be surrounded by good people is something you should do from the start, later in the process? What recommendations would you have to give our members? From the start, we get started and basically we make sure that we have good resources around us, mentorship, finance advisors, accounting, legal, just to be able to align us correctly.
Yeah, and like you said, we have our own team because it's kind of hard to find all those professionals independently. You're not sure if they speak the same languages. So just to come to see us, we have our dream team and we work all together. That will help a lot.
I would like to add it's a bit like businesses, like there's accounted for all kinds of businesses, all kinds of sectors. So sometimes we can direct you to the good accountant for your sector because some are specialized in a certain domain or some certain point of your growth.
Very good, very good. Well, thank you very much for your time. So how about we close today's webinar by saying dream big. We're here to support your dreams. So go ahead. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.